Hi there, my name is Sue from More Creating by Sue, and today I'm going to show you how to create a template in Silhouette Studio so that you can create stickers regularly. This is my template from my free sticker set. I've already created my boxes, I've added my text. All I have to do is add in my pictures, and then I'm ready to go. I'm going to show you how to create this template so that you can create your own in the sizes that you choose. So I'm going to open a new document, and the first thing I want to do is I want to turn on my registration marks. This allows you to print your paper and cut your paper according to the settings in your Silhouette Studio cutting machine. If you're not going to use a cutting machine, then you don't need the registration marks and you'll have a little more space to work with. So first I'm going to come over to my icons. I'm going to select the panel icon and I'm going to turn on or enable registration marks. This gives me these black lines and square that the machine will notice so that it can align the cuts perfectly. The next thing I'm going to do is on the left side, I'm going to use my drawing tools to create the shapes that I need for my stickers. Since most planners use rectangles, I'm going to start by selecting a rectangle drawing tool. You'll notice once I do that, my cursor is now a plus sign. I can go and I can draw by clicking and dragging to create a rectangle in the size that I need it to be for my specific planner. The Classic Happy Planner rectangle is about 1.497 and 2.280 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and select that 1.497 . And what you'll notice is because I'm locked, it will automatically maintain the ratio aspects of that box. So what I need to do now is change the height to 2.280. I only want to change the height, so I want to unlock my aspect ratio. Then I can change my height to 2.280. The width stayed 1.497, the height is 2.280. Now depending on your planning style will depend on how many of these rectangles you want. Let's say I want one for every day of the week, so I would need 7 of these size of rectangles. Instead of drawing each rectangle, I can come over and I can duplicate this rectangle as many times as I need to. I can duplicate it to the right, down, up. I can duplicate it more than once. I can get a row of 3 or a row of 4, or I can go down, or I can fill the entire page with the same thing. It will also allow me to mirror those. If you mirror it, what it's going to do is create a box underneath, above, or to the side. But once you fill that box in with your image, it'll be mirrored instead of in the right direction. So I'm just going to replicate this 7 times. So there's 1, 2, 3. And because I don't have any more space over here, I'm going to need to go underneath. And then I can go over. So there's 6, 7. If you want to go ahead and do an 8th box, just to make it an even amount, then you can do that as well. I'll go ahead and make 8. Now you can leave it like this, where your boxes are right up against each other, or you can spread them apart to give yourself a little bit of space in between so that you can see it a little bit easier and know where you're going to be cutting. It's totally up to you. I like to space mine out. To do that, I'm going to select these two boxes by clicking and dragging, and then I'm going to move them over. And you move them over as much or as little as you want. Then I'm going to select the bottom boxes. I'm going to go to my transform panel button, and I'm going to distribute those evenly spaced horizontally. You'll notice that it gave me spaces in between my boxes. I'm going to do the same thing with the top row. And then, if you don't want them to be right up against each other, just select them and move them down a little bit. Now I have 4 boxes that are exactly the same size that I can now go in and fill in with my pictures or my images. You can make your boxes any size you want. If you notice on my free boxes, I have a bigger one on the bottom. I have some small skinny boxes. And I have a couple of them that have space for writing or just a change in the image. So let's say I want to make a box that's half this size. What I would do is just divide 2.28 in half, and that would give me 1.14. So I'm going to duplicate this box. I'll go ahead and move it down just a little bit. And then I'm going to go up and change my height to 1.14. Now my box is half the size of the original box. Move it back up into its space. Duplicate it as many times as you like. Line it up. Distribute it evenly across. And you'll notice I didn't do one here. That's because I want to actually make even a smaller box, a quarter size box. So I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to divide it in half again. Let me get my calculator. I'm not a mathematician. So that would be 0.57. Or if you want to do 0.25 or 0.33, it's totally up to you what size you want your boxes to be. I'm going to go ahead and do 0.57 because when I make that, it'll be perfectly lined up. I don't even really need a space in between. It's totally up to you. You can make any kind of box shape that you want using your drawing tools. So you have a rounded rectangle, an oval, which could be a square, or a circle. You also have different shapes that you can use, all the different shapes. So let's say I want to put a circle, and I want it to be a perfect circle and not an oval. So I click on my oval. Once I get my drawing tool, I'm going to hold down my shift button and drag it, which would make it a perfect circle without having to change the height or the width. If I want to make it a little bit smaller, let's say I want it to be a perfect 1.5. Lock your aspect ratio and change your width. It will change your height as well. If you want an oval, just click on your oval shape, click and drag to create your oval. If you would like a heart, let me find that heart. Where did it go? There it is. When you click and drag, you'll see it creates your heart. Just drag your cursor so that you can create your heart. If you want it upside down, you can put it upside down. That's totally up to you. If I want to move this, I'm going to click on the line and drag it up and put it into the space I want it to go. As you can see, I have some washi, so I can go ahead and create a washi strip by using my rectangle. Let's just say I go like this. Now that's going to be way too big, right? So I'm going to go up, I'm going to unlock it. I'm going to change my width to 0.5. I'm going to change my height to, let's say, 8.5. And then I can drag it to where I want it to be. If I want to use up all the space that I have, I can just go down and grab the handle and drag it down. And that's how I create my template.